feet. Let's be on our feet. Let's be on our feet. We've been seated for a while. Let's get into the mood for the program. Hello, Adoma. I am hearing like 1% of the whole populace of Olag. Adoma. Anyways, you are all welcome to the interactive sections with students to identify their inner skills and talents and guiding them in developing same. And this is a project of the Miss Olag for the year 2022 in the person of Miss Esikum Ayimayu. Let's appreciate her one more time for this wonderful program. And we can't start the program without inviting the Holy Spirit to take absolute control over whatever we are going to do here. So without wasting much time, I have a singular honor to usher the school management and the resource persons in. Then after we carry on. Very comes the school management and resource person to bring the special occasion for us. With all due respect, let's remain standing whilst we usher the Miss Olag and her team in. Band. We've all gathered here because of her initiative. And she was escorted by her beautiful other contestants. We have the first runner and the second runner up, all India stars. Thank you very much. Let's appreciate the band. Let's appreciate the Olag Brass Band for that wonderful display. Without wasting much time, please, with all due respect, let's remain standing as we invite the school chaplain in the person of Patricia, Miss Patricia, to lead us in the opening prayer. Please, let's welcome her as she comes. The school chaplain. Okay, we can welcome. Okay. Oh, you can do better for her. You can do better for her. She was upstairs.
We pray in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Our dear Master Jesus, we thank you for today. We thank you for how far you've brought us. As we are about to begin this program, it's our prayer that you make it a success. Whatever that we are coming to learn about the skills and potentials you've given to us, help us to develop them very well. And at the end, we may praise and glorify your holy name. Through Christ our Lord. Amen. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Let's give it to her. We can please take our seats. Thank you very much. Once again, you are all welcome to the interactive section with students to identify their inner skills and talents and guiding them in developing same. This is a project designed by the reigning queen, Her Excellency, Her Majesty, Miss Mami Esikum. Please, let's appreciate her. Let's appreciate her. I would like to use the opportunity to acknowledge some of our sponsors for this special event. We have specialized mineral water. We have Kalipo, Minipong Care. We have Blue Skies. We have Marina Supermarket, your best choice. We have the Palace Mall. We have Frail GH, Coca-Cola, Hannah Praise Ventures. We have Love FM 99.5. We have the Ghana News Agency, the International Maritime Hospital. We have Better Malt and the media. We have PalmEmotion.com. High School. Oh, you didn't give it to Kwame Motion. Yes. Kwame Motion is an old student from Our Lady of Grace Senior High School, and he is doing very well for himself in Ghana at large. We also have the Grassoft Media, and the last but not the least, High School Observers. Please, let's give it out to our sponsors for making this program a success one. Not leaving the management of Our Lady of Grace Senior High School out of the contest. We also say thank you very much for your wonderful support. Without wasting much time, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite the headmaster of Our Lady of Grace Senior High School in the person of Reverend Father Sylvester Frimpong to give us the opening of the welcome address. Please, let's appreciate him as he mounts the stage.
Thank you very much, MC. On behalf of the management of this great school, I would like to welcome all of you gathered here, especially our guests, those who have come from near and far today to talk to our students about their potentials and to help them to be able to unearth these potentials and to help develop them. I know they have come from different backgrounds, professional backgrounds. It means that as we see them, we see the future of our students. Clap for them, and welcome them. As we see them, we are expecting every one of you to see yourselves in them. Maybe you are going to be a judge, a lawyer, a military person, a pastor, or all the other professions. There are engineers here. So I welcome all of you to this place. I welcome members of staff. We know we finished exams yesterday. You are tired, you are marking, but you are here also with us. Welcome them also with a clap, please. Welcome them. And I also welcome in a special way Miss Olag 2022. Give it to her. I know she's been very busy over the weeks. Apart from going to classes and learning to write her exams, she has been undertaking several activities in preparation towards this program. And even today, she went to the radio station and she made all of us proud as we listened to her and watched her display her talent. We know that she's shown us the way that if we give ourselves the opportunity to use all what we have available to us, we shall become great people in future. Our Lady of Grace Senior High School this year is running on the theme, Harnessing Potentials for Excellence, our role. And we are here referring to the role of the individual teachers, individual members of staff, individual students, how all of us can help every one of the 840 students to get to know himself or herself better, to be able to help nurture the talents that they have, so that when they get out there, they will be able to shine and make Ghana proud of them. We are very happy to have this program. And on this note, I want to welcome everybody to this program, and I pray that it ends in success. May God bless you all. Thank you.
Hello. You can do better for the headmaster. You can do better. Thank you very much, Reverend Father Sylvester, for that warm welcome address. We've been seated for a while, and we would like to take a performance from the Olag Inspirational Band to relax our muscles for what is to come. Please, let's welcome the Olag Inspirational Band.
I hope you are all happy to be here. I know no matter what, Olag students will say they are not happy. I don't like what I have been through. You turn my pit into a well. So the essence of my praise is centered on your grace. Adumo nyami, adumo, dumtina metiasi, na dumtina me woho. So the essence of my praise is centered in your grace. Adom, Adom, Adom. Adumo nyame, adumo, adum, adum sina mesiasi, adum sina mewo. So the essence of my praise is centered on your grace. Adum, adum, adum. Abe bolue, abe nao, abe bolue. This way, turn my life around. I've been out, never imagined bringing me this far. Turn my life around. I've been out. I never knew you would favor me this way. Turn my life around. I've been out. Me this far, turn my life around. I pay now, I pay all the way. I pay now, I pay all the way. I pay now, glory and power belongs to you. Turn my life around. I pay now. Pedria, pedo, wakosi area. Meadow, mini pedria, pedo, wakosi area. Ube uwa singana so. Shomoja kunku, shomoja uwa Calvary mami. Ube uwa singana so. Moja kuku, moja uwa Calvary my dream, me cry, me di pezia, me do uwa kosia rie. My dream, me cry, me di pezia, me do uwa kosia rie. Me do. Shirawo, Okoko, Amansai, Obiarati, Sawo, Shirawo, Techa, Ora, Utumi so, Senadini na he. Shawdi and Amasahi, Opiarati, my ancestor, Yeshira, Okoko, Amasahi, obiara tisa wo. Keji wae shaudi enyunyam amasaye obiara tisa wo. Kemaye saso shiro okokodi amasaye obiara tisa wo. To you, Kabioti, you are wonder in my life. Baba, oh, waiting I go to. You bless me, my life make better. Oh, what shall I render unto the Lord for all the great things He has done? He has done for me. Daddy, oh, waiting I go do. You bless me, my life make better. Oh, what shall I render unto the Lord for all the great things He has done? He has done for me. The things you do for me, nobody can do. The miracles have been my way. My mind, oh, let do my way. Nothing compares to you. Kabiosi, you are wonder in my life. I've never seen this kind of God before. Wonder, 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 wonder. I've never seen this kind of God before. Wonder, 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 wonder. Jesus, now oh, Jesus, now Jesus, now oh.
Let's give it to them. Let's give it to the inspirational band, the Olag Inspirational Band. God richly bless you so much. Adome. Oh, I'm not feeling your presence in the auditorium. Adoma. Only the first years. I want to hear from the first years. Adoma. First years. One more time. Adoma. Second years. Adoma. Second years, one more time. Adoma. And lastly, the seniors, the Ogoros. Adoma. Well. Okay. You are all welcome once again to the interactive section with students to identify their inner skills and talents and guiding them in developing same. Without wasting much time, we would like to introduce our distinguished resource persons we have in our midst today. Oh, you didn't clap to that. You didn't clap to that. In fact, the front seat is heavy. The seats are heavy because we have great men of our country here with us this morning. Let's appreciate them one more time. Let's appreciate them. And they are here to interact with us for us to know well into some career opportunities and other related content as well. To start with, we have Dr. Ebenezer Ochre. Dr. Ebenezer Ochre. He holds a PhD, MSc, and he is a financial statistician. Please, let's appreciate him. Let's appreciate him. We also have Mr. Alistair Jimate. Please forgive me if I don't mention the name right. We have Mr. Alistair Jimate. He is a public affairs manager for Blue Skies. Let's appreciate him. Let's appreciate him. We also have Mr. Godred Alimo. He is an entrepreneur. Please, let's appreciate him. And we have our very Reverend Dr. Maj Noah Boahin, Doctor of Ministry. And he is a Master of Theology and Master of Art in Christian Counseling. Please, let's appreciate him. He's here. Thank you very much, Reverend. We have Madame Edinam Atachi, and she is the head of Public Affairs and Marketing Department of the National Theatre of Ghana. Please, let's appreciate her. Madame Edinam is here. We have Mr. James Odate Mills, the Director for Liberty Law Consult. Please, let's appreciate him. Yeah. Mr. Odate Mills. Elom Etu, she is a senior dietitian. She is a senior dietitian. Let's appreciate her. We also have Mr. Boache, the engineer for FAPIM Company. He is the contractor for Olag SHS, Our Lady of Grace. Mr. Boache, I can see him. My very own father. Welcome very much, Mr. Boache. We also have Father Godfred Owusu. Father Godfred Owusu. Please, let's appreciate Father. We also have Mark Dradosi. Please forgive me, because I'm not, well. We have We also have Mr. Mark Dradusi, the head of pharmaceutical services, and he is also a lecturer. Please, let's appreciate him. And we have kennel patient A.D. Awume. She is a midwife, a renowned nurse for 37 Military Hospital. She holds a PhD and a candidate for PSC. And she is also Miss person who will be talking to us. Watching us. We also have, the last but not the least, Mr. Richard Comey, and he is into sports. Please, let's appreciate him as well. And these are our resource persons for today's interactive sections with students. Without wasting much time, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for us to listen to the pivot for this whole event, that is Miss Olag herself. As the pageant slogan reads, beauty with intelligence. We don't look at just the beauty, your outlook beauty, but what you can do, your intelligence and your capabilities as well. So without wasting much time, ladies and gentlemen, I have the singular honor to welcome the Miss Olag for the year 2022, Miss Mami Esikum Enyimayu. Please, let's welcome her as she gives us her welcome address. Oh, you can do better for her. You can do better. You can do better. And she looks beautiful in her blue ball gown.
Thank you very much, MC, for this opportunity. The headmaster, school chaplain, all resource personnel present and on Zoom, teaching and non-teaching staff present, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol duly observed, I wish you a very good morning. And I welcome you all to this August occasion, that is the Miss Olag 2022 project. This program is aimed at first guiding students to identify their skills, talents, and potentials in order to use them to create an avenue of wealth and also identify their career path. Before I go on, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to all the organizers, the school management, resource personnel, not to forget our sponsors, Special Eyes, Calipo, Hannah Praise Ventures, Blue Skies, Marina Mall, Palace Mall, Free Ghana, Coca-Cola, Love FM, Ghana News Agency, International Maritime Hospital, Better Malt, High School Live, High School Observer, and Grasssoft Multimedia. And last but not the least, kwamemotion.com. And your beautiful selves seated here, I say thank you very much for gracing this occasion. I implore you all, students, to take full advantage of today. Ask as many questions as you want from your resource personnel. And when you meet them, just enjoy your day. Thank you.
Let's appreciate Mami Esi one more time. Thank you very much. Her Royal Majesty, Mami Esi Kum, and you. Mami, forgive me for the name, eh? Okay. Sake of time, we move straight to some brief presentations by our resource personnel. And to start with, we will have a presentation by Mr. Alistair Jimate and Mr. Godred Alimo. They are into agriculture and agribusiness. Ladies and gentlemen, without wasting much time, let's welcome Mr. Alistair Jimate to give us his presentation. Okay. I learned Mr. Alistair Jimate will join us very soon. So we move on to the next. And we would like to invite Okay, thank you very much. As I said earlier on, some of our resource personnel will be talking to us through Zoom. But before that, we would like to take a presentation by our very own Reverend Dr. Maj Noah Boahin. Please, let's appreciate him as he mounts the stage.
The march is the short form of major. So it's major. Adoma. I want you to say it again. Adoma. Yes, we thank God. It's just by God's grace that we are here. You see, growing up, I got to realize that every job, when you go to, when we are talking about job, people are saying, oh, me pese me ye lawyer, me pese me ye doctor. Nye ye didi ye na amanfo ntanka. But you see, unfortunately for me, my teacher, my sofo, my soldier. So I'm going to tell you about and I think it's more blessing. Hallelujah. Yes. I'm a chaplain to the Ghana Armed Forces. And I want to talk to you about religion in Ghana Armed Forces as a whole, but generally, if I want to talk about religion, it will be too much. But I'll just touch some, and then zero down to Ghana Armed Forces. And it needs, some of you are very potential chaplains. And we want to teach you how best you can really go around this. In fact, chaplaincy generally could be found in all institutions. We can talk of, Ghana Armed Forces, number one, talking about police service, talking about immigration, talking about prisons, talking about, in fact, all the security agencies. Then we have schools, we have hospitals, and others. And generally, we are to look out for the spiritual welfare of our clients. In other words, if a student, if at school, students, if at the military, soldiers, officers, and soldiers. Now, it is a call to disciple making. And in fact, wherever you find yourself, we win souls. But interestingly, in Ghana Armed Forces, we have the Christians and then we have Muslims. With the Christians, we have denominations. We have Catholics, we have Anglicans, we have Methodists, Presby. I'm a Methodist. We have SDA, and then we have Pentecost. Well done. All right. So all of us form the Department of Religious Affairs. Department of Religious Affairs. And in fact, it will interest you to note that we worship with Muslims under the same roof. It is very interesting. Every quarter we have religious affairs. And I'm telling you, when we're talking about peace and stability in our nation, this form of worship is so special. It doesn't happen anywhere. It is only in the Ghana Armed Forces that we get these things. And I'm telling you, chaplains demonstrate deep commitment and sensitivity to diverse ethnic, religious, culture, and even culture and traditions. We try as much as possible to uplift the spirituality of the individual. Talking about the totality, we'll look at the total well-being of our clients. In fact, I'm to talk for just 5 minutes, so I know I'm left with some few minutes. But let us quickly, we know that Ghana Armed Forces, before you can enroll as a chaplain, you can be enlisted as a chaplain. You must have a Bachelor of Theology. If you want to be an imam, a Bachelor of Islamic Studies. Bachelor of Islamic Studies, Bachelor of Theology, Bachelor of Divinity. Right? That is what we do. And in fact, the other, for SS and everything, should be solid. You don't have to say that I didn't get mass, Everything must be solid. Yeah. So when you come in, the most important thing that we do is both at peacetime and during war. So when we go, I also go. We are trained, and we spend a lot of time in the bush. Bush exercises, everything, we do it. We don't, after that, you can't compromise there. Everything. They will deal with you but as soon as you finish the training, Osofo, they will come to you. Yes. But it's so interesting that we go through the same training, and the essence of it is that we need to show an exemplary life. You have gone through it. You chew the snakes and all the things. Hey, don't be worried. They are very good. It's a good delicacy. And everything that is supposed to, you are like, you act as, not acting as. You are a soldier. And so you are at the forefront with them. And it's so interesting getting soldiers when we go on operational areas, taking them through stress management, taking them through other studies, like even we talk about HIV and all sort of social issues and other things, not religion alone. And so I will want to entreat you, those who are very interested in the military, and you want to take through military chaplaincy. Here I know we have a lot of Catholics. You come, you have your first degree in theology, then you come, we enroll you, you enlist you, yes, and then you go through the training, become, you see, the soldiers see you anywhere. You serve as, we say that any moment the soldier sees the chaplain, he's happy. He knows that wherever trouble that he has, he comes to the chaplain and it is solved. And so we are learned. You be allowed to learn a lot. So don't say that when I go to soldier, I don't learn. We will encourage you. Even if you are a soldier and you don't even have a degree, we're pushing you up because you come to us. We counsel you. We're shaping your life so that at the end you're very good to the society that we belong in. I think when we come to the interactive section, we will do more and we will present and for you to get to know a lot. I thank you very much, and may God bless you.
Thank you, very Reverend Dr. Major Noah. Please, I hope I got the name correct. Thank you. By the way, my name is Gideon Dabufosuini, and I'm Immense co-MC. Without wasting much time, with a round of applause, let's welcome Mrs. Edinam Atatis, who is in the arts and culture sector.
Good morning, everybody. The place and even your name reminds me of my school. I attended Olag Secondary School, Our Lady of Apostles. So I was happy to be here. Well, since it's not lines that I'm going to learn and pour, I'm going to read this time around. And then when we go into our groups, then we'll know what to do. Preparing for a future is the creative arts. Creative arts, or appropriately the arts, is talent-based. The arts, because it's creative in nature, and so to say creative arts is tautology. As said earlier, people get born with the instinct of it. Many children show signs of creative talent or talent in areas of the arts. You see children drawing on walls, floors, kitchen bowls, and I know some of you still do it. Even although you're in secondary school, you still write on the walls, right? Then bodies of cars and lorries. You hear some singing loudly wherever they are free or shouting, sometimes meaningless, or dancing or imitating others, sometimes our parents. The truth is that those children who may be expressing creative talents in their stages may also be expressing creative talents. They disturb, oh, sorry, it's so small. It's old age, so please understand. They disturb when their parents want to rest or make undesirable remarks on cars or walls. That is also what leads to the urge to stop them. These are geniuses showing signs of their emergence, and when not stopped, sometimes grow naturally into them. But the talent, when discovered, must be molded into skills. Talent alone is not enough. To make a profession or vocation requires delicate training as well. Training opportunities in the country are not enough. Some private persons have set up training institutions, but these are largely in music and for instruments such as guitar and piano. But they are expensive, and those who can afford may not even take it up. Training in traditional drumming are largely left to the poor or children born in or close to royal families, and they are to take over for the palace drums. As for acting and dancing and even painting, they are even fewer. Children are rehearsed for speech day, poetry recital, and these may not even talented children, but those who are intelligent in other areas. People who are strongly pulled to the arts are therefore compelled to look for opportunities to train and practice on their own. Truth is that this has not been beneficial to them or society. In the past, schools devote a little more time for participation in arts activities, which were wrongfully described as culture. Culture is not the same as art. I believe that now we know that culture is the way of life and art is the expression of creativity, as in painting, music, film, drama, drawing, acting, writing, and poetry, etc. Countries that have properly recognized their arts and accorded them the appropriate recognition have used them to create jobs, wealth, and to promote tourism. Artists are acknowledged as some of the most important personalities in those countries. The potential in the arts are immense, but only untapped. So many talented people go on to pursue other professions or vocations and therefore deny themselves the chance to develop and add to nations' development. This unfortunate situation, however, does not eliminate the opportunities in the arts. The fact that some are making it means that it can be done, especially in those new areas when social media and the expanded scope of traditional media makes it possible to reach wider audience. The future can be bright. Thank you.
just a little bit about the law and about becoming a lawyer. And then when we have the breakup sessions, we can do more. Now, basically, the work of a lawyer is to be an advocate. In local parlance, in fact, I like the tree version. The tree will say you are what? A kasamafor. You talk for others. You intercede for others. In the Bible, we have it. At a point, someone was trying to plead on behalf of the people of Sodom and Gomorrah. You can go and read Genesis 18:23 to 33. You will notice that he tried to plead with God. God wanted to destroy the city, and he kept telling him, please, what if you find about 50 people? You are a God of righteousness. Certainly, you can't expect that all the people in the city will be unrighteous. You are too good to destroy the righteous with the unrighteous. He went on and on and on and on. Read further. Basically, that is what we do. We talk for others. We earn our living by doing so. And it's a very fulfilling job. I have only 5 minutes, so I'll go straight to some of the key things you need to know. Now, the law is such that we do not discriminate. All of you sitting here can become lawyers if you want to. It doesn't matter your background, whether you are reading science, you are reading arts, you are reading home econs. You can be. Aren't we magnanimous? Now, the reason is that the law cuts across all aspects of society. Even if there's a dispute between doctors, pastors, etc., it will be lawyers who decide and try and settle it. The judges who also sit as the neutral arbiters, they are also what? Lawyers. In fact, if you want to become a judge, you first have to become what? A lawyer. Then your number of years at the bar will determine what level of court you can sit on. That's all about it. So feel free, any background, any course at all. It's not only the art students who can read law. Of course, the languages do matter. Languages are too. But the others are also welcome. You need 4 years at the university if you are entering with your SS certificate. If you don't read law at the undergraduate level initially and you read any other degree course, you can later come and read law with your first degree, in which case you do only 3 years. At the faculty level, at the university level, when you are done, you go to the law school for additional what? 2 years. Making how many? So at your level, you should be looking at 6 years after SHS to come on as a lawyer. Once you are done, you also have to do what is known as pupillage. Basically, call it apprenticeship. You will go and work with a lawyer of at least 7 years at the bar and train, do some on-the-job training until he's satisfied that you are okay to be let out on your own. Then he will certify and sign for you. They'll be giving your first license to practice as a lawyer on your own. So that takes you to averagely, let's make it 7 years or 6.5 minimum after SHS. Now the degree you earn is called the LLB. It's a Latin phrase, but in law or in English, it is just the Bachelor of Laws. I'm sure your question will be why LL instead of just LB? It comes from Latin. Latin, the plural is always indicated by doubling the letter. So if we see LL, it's the plural for what? Laws. When you receive letters, you see CC at the bottom. CC, the copy address is CC because what? Plural. It's as simple as that. That's how it works. So you have the LLB and your master's degree will be what? LL what? M. Now the qualities. You need to be, I don't want to use the word the bookworm, but if you choose to become a lawyer, you should know that you never stop learning. You will always and forever be reading, always and forever be writing, always and forever be talking. You cannot do without books, whether at home or in the office. If you come to my house, I have a study. There's no difference between that room in my house and my office in town. You always be carrying books. So if you want to read law, know that you are going to be a student for what? Forever. So if you know you don't like books, you don't like reading, etc., then it will be difficult. You also have to master the art of what? Public speaking. Those of you who are shy, it doesn't mean you cannot. So learn it. Back in SHS, I was in Accra Academy. I opted to read the Bible at assembly. The very first day, my legs were shaking as if I had touched a live electrical wire. But over time, you master it. You need to get used to it because that is the work you are going to do. You'll always stand before the public, large gatherings. And in court, the courts are open. Anybody can walk in and come and sit and watch you. So you just need to learn it. There are two categories of lawyers. In other jurisdictions or other countries, you either become a barrister or a solicitor. The solicitors do the paperwork. Barristers are those who go to court and do the advocacy. But in Ghana, when you come out as a lawyer, you come out as what? Both. So you have to be prepared for the two. You need to be smart and intelligent and be able to think on your feet. When you are in court questioning someone, a witness, we call it cross-examination. If he gives you an answer that you are not comfortable, you can't tell the court and the witness, wait, I'm going to check something at home or in the office and come. You should be able to think on your feet and deliver. You should have a thick skin. When I say thick skin, if you are that type who goes telling people, media, obeka menimu die, enka yamide, enka bome, you lie, you can't do law. You should have a thick skin. You are lucky or you are blessed to have this opportunity. I was telling some of my colleagues before we entered that I used to go out there, take trotro, go to the law school, go to Burma camp, and make inquiries. Of course, you know what will happen. Some saw me and they were, who are classmen or whatever, and I told them DHS. Some will look at you up and down and tell you, my friend, I'm not serious. You should be concentrating on how to pass your BC. You are here asking questions that are beyond. But I needed that focus. I needed direction. I needed to be clear where to go, how to proceed. So I was never bothered. Me corner me could be standing one for me. I'm a weird there. Me weird there. If you don't mind me, I'll look for those who mind me. That is what I call thick skin. Otherwise, it will be very difficult. Now, in religion, Father Boahin will tell you, Thomas was what? A bad example. In law, Thomas is what? Our role model. Thomas is our role model. You don't just accept anything. You know what Thomas did? When he heard the news, whilst others were jubilating, the Bible tells us somebody ran, going to tell everybody, oh, Jesus is risen. What did Thomas do when he heard the news? What? Musi was sorry. Wano keke. I must what? See. And not just that. I must also do what? Touch. After touching, I must what? Put my finger in the hole. To confirm. You don't take anything at face value. Always check, always confirm. That is the mark of a lawyer. Remember, your clients will rely on you to guide them, to lead them, to advise. And you can't take anything for granted. You should have an inquiring mind. You should be inquisitive. Now, places you can work. Once you become a lawyer, in fact, law is like accounting. You can fit in virtually anywhere. Even the churches, they have legal departments. They have legal advisors. You can become a lawyer in private practice, like what I do. I have an office. People come in every day with their various problems. You sit them down, listen to them. Those you can solve by writing, you do so. Those you can only solve by going to court, you lead them there and have it resolved. They pay you, and that's how you earn your income. You can choose to become a judge. There's no special training or special course or special degree course to pursue to become a judge. If you want to become a judge, all you need to do is to first become what? A lawyer. Then your number of years at the bar will determine the level where you can become a. So let's say at the district court, you need to be a lawyer of at least 3 years standing at the bar. The next level is what? The circuit court, 5 years. Next level is the high court. Guess what? 10 years. Next level is what? The court of appeal. That is what? 12 years. And then the Supreme Court, 15. Remember, these are just the minimum number of years. Could be more. At the district court, we refer to the judges as your worship. Circuit court, your honor. All the rest, my lord or my lady, depending on the gender. There are a number of mix. We can't talk about law or becoming a lawyer without talking about some of them. The most popular one is what? When you die, what happens? You don't know. They claim that when lawyers die, they are buried what? In fact, even at the funeral cry, you are likely to have your face upside down. It is not, there's no reason because it's not true. But they claim it is because lawyers are what? But one day when you hear that, pause a little, call the person and ask him, if lawyers are liars, why is it that whenever they are in trouble, they go to the same people they call what? I'm done. We'll do more at the breakout.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Mr. James Odate Mills. Yeah. So when we break into the groups, those who will be meeting him, he will be diving deep into the law business. So those who want to go and meet him, when we break into the groups, you will hear more. Without wasting much time, you will invite Mr. Ebenezer. Dr. Ebenezer Ochre is ready. He is a financial statistician, the chief manager, banking supervision department of the Bank of Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Dr. Ebenezer Ochre. He is talking to us live on Zoom.
basically what it is. And then again, too, we are adolescent reproductive health ambassadors. So wherever we go in the country, we have people who walk up to us to share their experiences with us and then find out one or two things that are going on with us. So wherever you find us, wherever you see us in town, feel free to walk up to us and then talk to us about whatever issues that's going on with you, because that is who we are. And we embrace our roles respectively. So that's the little I have to share. Thank you guys for having me.
Series theme. Thank you very much. We move straight to Ms. Florence Elom Eto. She is a senior dietitian and she is a Lieutenant Ghana Navy. Ladies and gentlemen, with a round of applause, let's welcome Ms. Florence Elom Eto. Please, let's welcome her.
Hello, everyone. So my name is Florence Eto. Depending on a lot of things and where I am, I can be addressed as RD Eto or Naval Lieutenant Eto. But especially when I am in this uniform, I am Naval Lieutenant Eto. And then at the end of the Eto, I'll bring a comma and write the RD. I am a registered dietitian. That means that I talk to people about food most of the time, Monday to Friday, morning to evening. And then some weekends too, I'll end up talking to people about food in churches or certain meetings. A dietitian is a person who educates people on what to eat, whether in health or disease. When they are in health, the dietitian will educate you how to maintain the health. If you are in disease or you are not well, the dietitian will educate you on how to recover. And I think that it is the most important health profession in the world because barring any accident, if nothing bad happens, what we eat is the only thing that can influence our health. So practicing a profession where you get to talk to people about what to eat so that they don't fall sick, I think is very important. Everybody can become a dietitian. Both males and females can be dietitians. For a very long time, until recently, only people who had done science in secondary school could continue to become dietitians or practice diet. But for the past few years, 3 or so years back, things are changing. So everybody, regardless of the course you do in secondary school, you can continue to the university to become a dietitian. Just that you have to do one science course, particularly chemistry, in addition. So you could do home econs with chemistry, and then you can do dietetics later. Or you can do business and do chemistry with it, and you can become a dietitian or a nutritionist later. So now, every course, regardless of the course you do at secondary school, if you do chemistry in addition, you can become a dietitian later. Every course in secondary school with chemistry can become a dietitian later. And for now, almost all the public universities in the country also run the program. So regardless of your secondary school course and regardless of where you go to university, you can become a dietitian. In the past, it used to be just University of Ghana for a very long time, and it used to be a master's program. And then KNUST started. Now UHAS does it, UCC also does it. So all the public universities do dietetics, they do food and nutrition, they do nutrition and food science. And those are the courses you have to do in the university for first degree if you want to practice as a dietitian. If you want to do it as a second degree, then you could do any course with chemistry. So also at the university. At the secondary school, you can do any course with chemistry, and then when you go to the university, you can do dietetics. At the university, you can do any program with chemistry, and then for your second degree, you can do dietetics if you don't want to do it the first time. So all the universities do the program. After, if you do it as a first degree, you stay in school for 4 years and do the nutrition and food science or nutrition and dietetics. You do a lot of chemistry and you study everything like the medical student. The only difference between us and the medical student or the medical doctor is that where the doctor will prescribe medication, you will prescribe food. That is the only difference. So we study the same thing with them. We study anatomy and pathology and pharmacology, the same thing, everything. We go through all the processes with them. And then there's a course that separates us, where they will study what medications to give you. We will study what food. So in addition to everything we study together, we study food nutrients and what they do to the various body parts so that then we can prescribe food. So basically that is what the dietitian studies at school. You study the human body and then you study food and what food does. And then when there's a problem with the human body, you know which food to give. It is a very interesting program and very helpful, like I said earlier. When you do it for your first degree, you stay in school for 4 years. At the end of the 4-year period, you do your internship, where you are attached to a senior dietitian, somebody who has been practicing for more than 5 years, to learn the practical or practice for under observation, because you are going to be dealing with human lives. So you do the internship for 1 year. After that, you write a licensure examination. You are examined to confirm to the state. We have the Allied Health Professional Council. You are examined to confirm to them that when we leave a sick human being with you, you can administer food and they will not die. Or when we bring a healthy human being to you, you can manage them to maintain the health. So after the internship, where you study under a mentor, somebody who has practiced for a while, you write the licensure exams, and then you are given a license to practice as a dietitian in Ghana. The licensure is very important because, like I said, they are going to be entrusting human health into your hands. So the state has to be sure that you won't be killing us. And then after your licensure, you now register with the Ghana Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. And then you become a member of the Ghana Academy of Nutrition. All these processes are there so that when you are in the facility working with people, on people's health, we are sure that whatever you are doing is right. People can trust you. When the doctor writes prescription for you, you don't think about it. You just buy the medication and you take it. He has gone through a lot of processes, and we are sure that unless he's a bad person, whatever he's writing for you is going to help your health. So the dietitian also goes through the processes of certification, so that if somebody is in the ICU, cannot talk, the dietitian comes to tell the nurses to give him milk, even though it is just milk, we know that she doesn't want to kill the person. So you get your certification from the Allied Health Profession, your license, and then you register with the Ghana Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. Then now you can practice as a dietitian. A dietitian can work anywhere there are human beings who eat, a dietitian can practice. But mostly in Ghana, dietitians practice in the hospital, because unfortunately in Ghana, people wait until they fall sick before they want to make changes in their eating, because we all think that's for food. I mean, how can somebody be teaching you what to eat when you are not sick? So mostly in Ghana, dietitians practice in the hospitals, but dietitians can also work in food production industry. So all the big companies that produce food items, like Nestle, like Promasidor, all those ones, they have clinical dietitians, they have nutritionists and food scientists who will calculate how much milk will be in the Cerelac so that a 6-month baby can take it and nothing will happen. All that. So dietitians can work in food production industries. Dietitians can also work in food service industries, any where food is served. So for a school, the matron could be a dietitian. They plan the meals properly so that after lunch, when you come to class, you are not sleeping, even though you have just eaten. The dietitian will know which kind of food you should eat in the afternoon so that you are satisfied, but you will not sleep if you are being taught. So anywhere that there are people and there's food, a dietitian can work. But mostly, like I said, in Ghana, we work in the hospitals. A dietitian can also teach in health-based institutions. So nursing schools, medical schools, wherever, a dietitian can teach there. In Ghana, if you choose to work in the hospital, there are so many sectors. We have Ministry of Health or Ghana Health Service, who is in charge of all the government hospitals. So after your internship and your licensure, you can work with any of the government hospitals. You apply to Ghana Health Service and they post you anywhere. Or you could join the Ministry of Defense like I did and be at any of the military hospitals. Or you could join the Ministry of Interior and be at the police hospital or any of their hospitals. And then recently I found out that prisons and fire service to have taken dietitians. So prisons has one dietitian, fire service also has a dietitian. So all of the security services now, it looks like if you're a dietitian, you could practice there as well. Then we have the Christian Health Association of Ghana, those in charge of all the Christian hospitals. You could work there as well. Then you can have private practice. You do consultation for industries or institutions. You do TV shows or programs, or people just walk into your office and practice. Like I said, everybody can be a dietitian, but you must be somebody who cares for people, because we work mostly in the hospital, the people we attend to are unwell. And so you should have the heart to be patient and listen and care for sick people. And then you should be patient also because usually when you want to fix a health problem with diet, it takes a while. And so you have to be patient, and then you can encourage your clients to be patient and follow the plan. You must be a very serious person. You must love to read, because most of the guidance we give is based on science, and science is always changing. And so you can't just stop at what you learned in school or what you learned to get your licensure. Even while you are practicing, you must be constantly reading, you must be attending seminars. We call something continuous professional development. You must be doing it all the time because science is always changing. A quick example, a long time ago, we all thought that egg was bad because of the yolk. Has any of you heard that before? Old people will say that we shouldn't eat egg because the yolk has cholesterol and it's bad. And so we were not eating egg because cholesterol is... At that time, that was a level that the science had reached, that the cholesterol in egg is bad. But current studies are showing us that, yes, there's cholesterol in egg, but they are not as bad as the cholesterol in processed food. So we can actually eat eggs. So if you are a dietitian and you got your license like 10 years ago, and you are not constantly reading, you will be giving your patients bad apple. Meanwhile, things have changed. So you must be somebody who loves to study and develop yourself. And then you must not be somebody who likes to gossip, talk about people. Dietitians tend to spend a lot of time with their clients. And so you hear stories, people tell you their problems, because you are going to be asking them to make changes in their lives. You shouldn't spread, your client shouldn't come back to you the next time, and as soon as they enter the waiting room, everybody will start laughing or something. So you should be able to hold people's information to yourself. You must be caring, you must be smart and love to read, and you should be able to hold information to yourself. So a brief, in summary, dietetics That is the name of the science, dietetics. And then the profession is dietitian. It's a very important health science. And thankfully now, because of the changes in our educational system, everybody can be a dietitian, provided you do some chemistry in addition to whatever you are studying. And if you choose to do it as a first degree, after 4 years, you are ready to start practicing when you get your license and your certification from the allied health profession. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Oh, you can do better for Lieutenant Eto. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that presentation. I would like to use the opportunity to acknowledge our proud sponsors once again. We have specialized mineral water, feel different, think special. We have Marina Supermarket, the best choice. Blue Skies, for the love of fresh. Calipo, irresistible. We have Hannah Praise, Enterprise, Frail GH, Love 99.5 FM, QuameMotion.com, Ghana News Agency, High School Live, Better Malls, Dream, Believe, Achieve. Coca-Cola, Taste the Feeling. High School Observer, Grassoft Media, and International Maritime Hospital. I would like to remind us all that the program is in 2 sections. As we've gathered here, when we are done with the briefings, we are going to break into groups where our resource persons will meet. Each groups they will be assigned to and talk to us. We are going to dive deep into their professions and know more when we get to decide for ourselves. Without wasting much time, we also call Mr. We will call Mr. Boache, and he is an engineer, and we call Mr. Boache to give us a presentation. Please, let's welcome him as he comes.
Good afternoon, my dear students and my honorable resource personnel. The colonel who just spoke about the diet, we do say in our local dialogue that painting be adame. We work on construction field as an engineers, but when you come there, Major, we don't eat, we don't consider our diet as, so we come for consultation. My name is Emmanuel Boache, the Managing Director of FAPEM Company Limited. We've been on this site, on this campus for almost 10 years now. So we are here with our students. Miss Olag, congratulations. And I'm here with Elom Chacho Green. He is an architect. They design both mechanically and construction-wise structures and everything that we do see. So they plan, they design, then we execute. Now I am a contractor. I am a mason by profession, but they design before we build. So I will end the presentation, but I will give the microphone to him so they tell our students how they go through become a proper engineer. So I introduce to you Mr. Elom Chacho Green. He is our architect on campus now,
doing all this wonderful edifice.
All right, thank you very much. Like Mr. Boachi said, my name is Maxwell Elom Chachu Green. I am an architect by profession, a member of Ghana Institute of Architects. Yes, I'm also in a green reflective coat. Yes, and I am a building services engineer as well. Okay, I will tell you a little about my profession. When I grew up, I saw my father being an artist, so my father could draw. So I also started by drawing stuff. And then we're drawing stuff on walls and anything. And then later, my father passed, and I had to stay with an uncle. I'll tell you the difference it made in my life. So I stayed with my uncle who didn't value drawing. So later I realized that the flair to draw was lost in my life. Now when I got to JSS1, we attended JSS. Many of you attended JHS. Yes. When I got to JSS1, then I made up my mind that I wanted to do architecture and nothing else. So people wanted to be medical doctors, engineers, and everything. And what helped me was that I had a family member who was a draftsman. So I realized that all that I was seeing in my life was plans of buildings and stuff, and it informed my life and helped me to make all those choices. I went to secondary school. They told me to become an architect, you have to do science. I said, fine. So the science, they said that there was science with biology, science with geography, science without biology and geography. And I said that, what is the difference? They say that if you do science without biology and geography, that's physics, chemistry, mathematics. You can easily become an engineer, architect, also and other things. I said that I want the easier one. Drop the biology, drop the geography. I want science, physics, chemistry, and maths. That's all. And then we did it. And then we came to school. And then we became architects. Now, if you are considering a career in architecture, you need to develop a tough skin. You can Google it. One of the most difficult programs in the university is architecture. We spend a lot of our time in the studios. We sleep there, we eat there, we do everything there. There have been several occasions where I have to spend 3 continuous days in the studio. We do everything at the place. In fact, the room that I rented in school, there I can count the number of times I slept on that bed. It was friends that were using it because you spend all the time, every single time of yours. You work, you sit by your drawing board, drawing all manner of things. You feel sleepy, you put your head on your table, you salivate on the paper, and you have to draw another one. Very, very annoying. Very, very difficult a program. But it is very interesting and it pays a lot. I haven't started making my monies yet. Yes. But I know it pays. When I finished architecture, I finished my BSc. I also continued to do my master's, after which I wrote what Auntie was saying, licential exams, to become a member of Ghana Institute of Architects. After working a while, I also decided that designing just the envelope of buildings for people to sit inside was not enough. I needed to study a little more into other fields within the construction industry. So I pursued another master's in building services, which talk about the electrical, air conditioning, plumbing, and everything that make the building what it is. So it is added knowledge. Like all the other instructors were saying, if you finish university, doesn't mean you finish studying. You have to continuously study. There are a lot of things you have to add up to become employable. I hope you understand. There are a lot of things you have to do to add to whatever you've studied in the university. So we keep studying and improving. That is what we've been doing all this while. When we break up into and we come into the construction circle, I'm sure there are a lot of things we will discuss. Thank you very much. But in all you're doing, if you can, become an architect.
Become an architect, and you can be an engineer as well. So in our field, it's a teamwork. You don't say one person is doing the project or is doing the work. I said I'm a Mason by profession. I've gone through the mail doing MVT, grade 1, 2, 3, city and girls, CTC 1, 2, 3, before getting access to university to do BSc and MSc as well. But please, in terms of our field or our profession, yesterday I was on one side when people came to do job. It's only our field that we do employ temporary workers, like students, especially on long back. You see people who are reading law, they came to our side. Charlie, I won't do 1 month to be, I want some cash for my pocket. You do people who are going, practicing to be a military officer, practicing to be any other field. They came to us looking for short course or short job for money. And I do say construction or being an engineer and be on field is one of the best. Because you've seen cash and always with cash. Because our field, as my brother was saying, that you have to plan. Even look at this edifice that you are in now. When some of them came here, when you asked father or some past students or the teachers, here was waterlogged area. Here was flooded with water. So we have to say, oh, we want to build an auditorium here. What do we have to do? Whilst people are asleep, then you are thinking, how do I do this? How many people are they going to take? The weight, the roof, the shape, the chairs, the arrangement, even here is an engineering course. So please, learn hard. Try to be an engineer, either taking other part. As I said, it's group. We're going to break into sessions where when you come there, we'll tell you other session or other part of engineering, the contribution that you have to do before you can become an engineer or a contractor. Everybody can be a contractor, because contractor, you can mobilize people, hire people. You can hire an architect. You can hire all aspects of the engineers to come and work for you. But ours, we have gone through the mail. We know what it takes, and we want to tell you why you should go through that mail and become a good contractor. So what we are telling you is to do the first thing first at the first time. You don't have to try and go and come back. Do the first thing first. So when you come to our office, you say, down once, down right. So FAPEM, we are here with you. We've been here for almost 10 years. We're going to be here with you. So other resource persons, they will tell you what you should do. They will leave. We are here. We are with you. So even if you don't finish everything today, you can have another time to tell you more why you should become an engineer. Thank you so much, and enjoy your day.
Thank you very much. Oh, let's appreciate Mr. Emmanuel Boache. I am not forgetting the fact that he said he is with cash. So if he is with cash, and you know that part, you know. It's very interesting to be with cash nowadays in Ghana. So Mr. Emmanuel Boache, I'll be seeing you right after the event. It's come pay the day. It's come pay the day. Thank you. Okay, well, we also have another resource person who will be talking to us on Zoom. And she is on the person of, yes, it's a she, Captain Belinda Na Lasiji. And she is a RGN military officer and a nurse with the infectious disease resident. Captain Belinda Na Lasiji will be talking to us on Zoom.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
We can hear you, so please go on.
Hello, everyone. Can I be heard, please? Okay, my name is Captain Belinda Nalasiji, and I'm a nurse by profession and also a military officer with the Ghana Armed Forces. And this afternoon, it's a privilege to engage you and give you a little insight into the noble profession, the only noble profession on earth, which is nursing. Okay, so I'll begin by saying that do not consider nursing as a second option of profession, but then it should be your first option. If you really care for people, if you are compassionate and empathetic, then consider nursing. So what do nurses do? Our scope of practice is being defined by theories, and one of our theories defines the individual who is sick or well in the performance of those activities that contribute to health or their recovery or to a peaceful death that he would have performed unaided if he had the necessary strength, will, or knowledge, and to do so in such a way as to help him gain independence as rapidly as possible. And this definition of nursing was given by Virginia Henderson in 1996. And you can relate that till today, it is still applicable because that is all we do. We help the sick or even those who are well to be able to do the things that they would have done if they had the capacity or the will to do it. Or even if somebody is dying, you don't have to neglect the person. You still have to care for the person so that they will peacefully transit from this world into the other part of the world. So our focus is basically the care for individuals, families, communities, so that they may attain or maintain an optimal health and quality of life. So nurses and midwives actually form the greater part of staff or colleagues in the healthcare profession. When you come to the healthcare environment, you find a lot of nurses, you find a lot of midwives. Because of what we do, we are usually the first point of call in emergencies. We are usually the first point of call in critical situations for our patients, in the delivery of primary health care, in health promotion, health prevention, treatment and rehabilitation. We are usually the very first point of call. So you find us to be many, but still we are not able to meet up with patient to nurse ratio in our facilities. And so we need more of you to join us. Okay, so how did nursing begin? There was this fine lady, I'm sure most of you might have heard her name, Florence Nightingale, the lady with the lamp. She actually was from a wealthy background. She was a British, all right. And then in her time, that was in the 19th century, she fancied nursing strangers, nursing people, and all that. And so even though she was from a wealthy background, she still decided to care for the sick. Those times, caring for the sick was meant for people who were from, let's say, a low or middle income background. But she still defied the odds and decided to do nursing. And then there was a war, the Crimean War. So the British has to engage Florence Nightingale and her nurses to go and care for the wounded soldiers. When they got there, she made a very good observation. Before she got of a nurse or the role of a nurse as a of the soldiers were dying and all that. But when she got there, she realized that no, this environment is not safe. It's not nice for sick people to live in. So they had to clear the environment is clean, and now the soldiers were recovering. So she became the lady with the lamp. She brought a lot of change to caring for the wounded. You can read further on that when you have much time, because this one we're using just 5 minutes. So I'm giving you just tidbits of how nursing began. And then that was how it began. And other theories came in, other people developed the interest to practice nursing. And to date, we still have nurses and midwives in our society. So, what are the requirements into our nursing school before you can call yourself a nurse or part of the noble profession, you need to go through training. So currently you are in the senior high school. When you complete, you need a minimum of grades A1 to C6 in your 3 elective subjects and then 3 course, A1 to C6, to get you into nursing school. Now, in our nursing schools, we have 2 categories. We have the nursing training colleges, where you train for 3 years and then you graduate. So they wear the green. Or you go to the university where you train for 4 years and then you graduate as someone with a Bachelor of Science in Nursing. And then when you go to the nursing training college, you graduate with a diploma in nursing. Unfortunately, you can't see my slide. I had beautiful images for you that will whet your appetite for nursing, but we'll make do at the moment with what we have. So, after completion of either your 3 years or 4 years training, whether you go to the university straight away or you go to the nursing training college, you will all write a licensing exams, which is moderated or controlled by the Nurses and Midwives Council. And then after that, you'll be called a registered general nurse, or a registered midwife, or a registered mental health nurse, or a registered community nurse. Okay, so once you get your license to practice, you can practice with the Ministry of Health facilities, example, Kolebu. You can practice with the Ministry of Defense facilities like 37 Military Hospital. You can practice with the Ministry of Interior, like the Police Hospital. You can practice with Ghana Health Service, like Ridge Hospital, Adabraka, and all that. Or you can practice with the Catholic Health Association of Ghana, CHAG. Okay, any Catholic hospital, or you go into the private sector. There's Nyao Hospital, there's Bemua, and all that. Or you can decide to go into international practice, where I guess by now you have heard that most of our nurses are going to international practice. You write your international exams again, and then you exit the country and go and practice outside. So these are the avenues for you as a registered general nurse or registered midwife. Okay, so when you are able to practice with any of these facilities, you rise through the ranks. And we have rankings from staff nurse or midwife, senior staff nurse, and you start from these rankings when you do diploma in nursing. But when you do degree in nursing, then you will skip these 2 ranks, staff nurse and senior staff nurse, and get to nursing officer straight away. So you rise from nursing officer, senior nursing officer, principal nursing officer, deputy director of nursing, chief nursing officer, and then the director of nursing services, which is the ultimate. So you could be a director of nursing services for a whole facility, like Ministry of Defense. We have a director of nursing services. The Ministry of Interior also have theirs. Ghana Health Service have their director of nursing services in their various facilities. Okay, so if you decide to be a nurse in the military, like myself or Colonel Awume, then after acquiring your licensing exams from the Nurses and Midwifery Council, if you have a degree or Bachelor of Science in Nursing and Midwifery, then you could enroll through the military academy. So you enlist and then you are trained at the Ghana Military Academy and you become a commissioned nurse or midwife or commissioned nursing tutor. And with this, you require a Bachelor of Science in Nursing or any nursing subspecialty, critical care nursing, emergency nursing, or a master's in nursing education could lead you to become a commissioned nursing officer. Then if you have the diploma in nursing from the nursing training schools, then you can also be recruited and become a non-commissioned officer at the Army or Navy or Air Force recruit training school. So these are the 2 categories. If you have the diploma, you will become a non-commissioned officer. If you have the Bachelor of Science in Nursing or any other subspecialty or a master's, then you become a commissioned nursing officer. You go through training for each of these categories. Okay. So what are some of the subspecialties in nursing and midwifery? After you have acquired your basic, your registered general nursing licensure, you can further specialize in an area of interest. So after working for a while, you identify your area of interest, and then you decide to specialize in there. So you can become a public health nurse, a mental health nurse, a nursing tutor, a nurse, perioperative nurse, an emergency nurse, an infectious disease nurse, ophthalmic nurse, ear, nose, and throat. If you are a midwife, you can do well. You can do advanced midwifery. For the nursing as well, you can do nephrology, palliative care, neuroscience, and many more. The list is actually uncountable. So once you get your basics, which is you don't have to stay there. You need to find an area to specialize. And this enables you to provide quality of care because you gain more experience and expertise in the subspecialty you choose. So that when you find patients in that domain, you'll be able to give them the best of care they need. Okay, so in conclusion, all I would like to say is that nursing is focused on the care of individuals. So if you don't have the qualities of empathy, compassion, if you are not patient, if you are not enduring, if you are not tolerant, then you cannot be a nurse. You would have to make sure that you develop all these qualities because dealing with human beings is very, very, very difficult. And sometimes you just stand by and watch a patient, you could see that this patient would have done well if they were fine. But unfortunately, because of sickness, they cannot care for themselves. So you would have to step into their shoes and do what they could have done for them so that they will recover and go home. When they see you in town, sometimes you're walking in town and then you hear patients shout, "Hey, Auntie Nurse, Auntie Nurse, Auntie Nurse." Oh, you can't even remember where you met the person, but you feel fulfilled that somebody, oh, I'm the one you cared for at 37. I'm the one you cared for at this hospital. Oh, then maybe they're working with somebody and they tell you, oh, this nurse was very nice to me when I was sick. And you go home and you feel so fulfilled. Or let's say you realize that a patient is about dying. And maybe because of technology and expertise, you are able to, by the grace of God, you are able to do something for this patient to come back to life and start breathing again. You go home fulfilled and you are like, oh God, we thank you for helping us to intervene in this patient's condition. So it is actually a very noble profession. Don't think about the money. Don't let the money be your primary focus. Okay? Let the passion and the empathy to care for people be your primary focus. And then the remuneration will come afterwards. The joy, the fulfillment will come afterwards. It is actually a ministry, just like our pastors are preaching. Nursing is a ministry. So you would have to minister to your patients. Okay. All right. So decisions to be part of this noble profession should be well thought through, considering your values, your interests, your strengths, and weaknesses, as well as your goals. So if you want to be a nurse, sit down, draft all these things, and see whether you have the capacity to be able to fit into people's situation and give them some joy they need. Thank you very much for your attention. Hello. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Please, can I be heard? Okay, so thank you once again for your attention. And I'm sure during the question times, we'll be available to answer any further questions you have. Enjoy the rest of your
over my tinina. You say I the rush me my tinina. Usi minishe. Oka my sempa my tinina. My sissy my son by my tinina. I do like I know here by my tinina. Me my hunina. Share my tinina. Yeah. Me my tinina. Eba, I say, I know that, I know that, I know that, I know that, Eba, I did, I say, Obi be me sa, my friend no be you, my friend no be you, yeah, Empire me born say. Bien Didi, we all deserve it. Empire, me born deserve. Oh, bien Didi. Yeah. Oh, come on, sempa matrina. But you see my son, my matrina. You say I the rush me matrina. Oh, see me niche. Oh, come on, sempa matrina. But you see my son. I do like I know here by matrina. Me ma hunina. Share matrina. I know that. I know that. I did. I know that. I know that. I know that. You let me go far away, far away, far away. We hope say no wahala day, wahala day, wahala day. Cause so many things happened yesterday. So many things happened yesterday. We don't want to see again, so we just pray. Oh, come on, sempa matrina. But see my son, matrina. You say I the rush, my matrina. We see me niche. Oh, come on, sempa. But see my son, matrina. I do like I know here about matrina. Me ma hunina. She matrina. Matrina. Matrina, Matrina. So, we also planned something for Miss Olag. She advised us on something and want to tell us, want to say something for all of us. So this is what she said. We are all in school and we came to learn. Please, I'm sorry for wasting your time. I'm also doing my presentation. So, I'm also doing my presentation. So, this is what she said. We all came to school and we never plan on getting enemies. Please, do you understand? We never plan on getting enemies. But someone will just sit down and say something bad about you and you don't understand. Please, I'm coming to give them a name right now. We call them self-employed enemies. Like, they just sit down and employ themselves to be your enemies. So if you are here and you are listening to me right now, you are telling them that the negative things they say about us is a source of motivation to us. We never come down. It's a source of motivation. We are never giving up. And we are never going to be depressed. We are stopping depression right now. Hey, I say, yeah, I know that. I know that. I know that. Yeah, hey, Okama senpai. My sister, my son. Yeah, Okama senpai. My sister, my son. I do like I know here. Maybe hunina, she matrina. Big ups to the self-employed enemies. We love you all. Big ups to Boris Amuzu. Dr. Amuzu, big ups to Boris Amuzu. Thank you so much.
Let's give it to them, the LG band. That was very beautiful. Uh-huh. Okay, so we've been refreshed with our soothing song. So we move straight to the questions and answers time. And Madam Beatrice, please can I get one microphone? If you have a question, please you raise a hand. Then we'll bring you the microphone. Then you ask your question. So this is the time for you to ask your questions. So if you have any question for any of our resource personnel, you can raise your hand. Okay, we have a question. You mentioned, please come here. You mentioned your name and your class, then you ask the question.
Please, my name is Joshua Dumashi of 1 at 3. And I have a question for the law teacher, the one who is going to teach us about law. Please, as we go to the pub, as you say, or our entrepreneurship, do we get paid whilst we are doing it? Or
Yes.
6 years.
He wants to know with the internship. You said when you are done with the law, you have to be attached to somebody who have got an experience for like 7 good years. So when you are doing that internship, do you get paid or you just okay? So I think yeah. I think Mr. James Odate will answer that question. You can sit. If you have a question, you can come.
We have internships and then we have pupillage. The regular normal internships are done whilst you are in school. You can do it during the faculty level when you are doing the LLB, that's in the university. And then at the law school where you are doing the 2-year professional program, that one is compulsory. At the university, it's optional. Some even encourage their students to do it, but you are not marked or graded with it. At the law school, it is compulsory. You must do the internship during the vacations. The pupillage comes in after you are done with the entire course and you've been called to the bar. That is when we say you are called to the bar, we are referring to the point where you now become a lawyer and you qualify as such. After that, I do the pupillage, which is what I refer to as the apprenticeship. It's practically an apprenticeship. Just as the seamstress will go, someone wants to sew, go and be with a seamstress for some time. Some are paid, some are not paid. It's not compulsory to pay. Remember, before the pupillage, you would have done about 6 years of schooling at the university and at the law school where you were paying hefty amounts as school fees. When you come to the chambers, the office, the law firm, you are not paying anything for the extra training you are being given. So the payment is optional. Some firms will pay you some form of allowance, others will not pay. Some will pay more than others, but you will have to psych up yourself and tell yourself that, look, you've done 6 years, you are left with just 6 months or 1 year extra. Whether they pay you or not, you need to have your license so that you can start earning proper fees for your work. So it depends. If you really want to be paid, you look for a law firm that is ready to pay you because they are only helping you to complete your training.
Thank you very much. Oh, you can do better for Mr. James Odate Mills. Thank you very much. Okay, we have a question. Please come. If you have a question, please raise up your hand and come. Okay, we have another question. You can come. A question again. Okay, those who want to ask questions, please come here. Line up one after the other. When they are done, we are not calling anybody to ask any question again. So if you have a question, this is the time. Come and join them. Okay, you can ask the question.
Please, my question goes to
Your
the
name?
military. Okay, my name is Eliza Aberele Alara Nso. I'm in 1 Science 1. My question goes to the military. I wanted to ask, like, if you want to do military, which course do you have to do in order to get to the military?
Again, ask the question again.
If you want to get into the military, which course do you have to do?
All right. Can I answer? All right.
You can be there.
Every course, any course, we have, listen, we have doctors, lawyers, teachers, nurses, architects, we have pharmacists, we have priests, imams, everything you can think of, engineers, electrical and mechanical engineers, anything that, and then we have the, madam, your people, DPR people, yes, the performance, but they are into a different, we have athletes, look, whatever that you doing, right, just the basic thing is that if you want to enter in as other rank, then there's a need for you to pass, have at least C6 in all subjects. Let me tell you, soldier, ube suandie. So, you will learn. The courses that you will attend will even put you off. So if you don't like learning, don't come to soldier. And yet, a TV for an a soldier. Lawyer, I am soldier. And I'm winning one country, one into the sea, one country. Yes. And so everything you need to pass. And if you want to be enlisted as an officer, you must have first degree. We have regular, let's say regular cadet and short service. The regular, you go in, those who don't work, don't have any work or profession, you go in as a soldier. All right? So an officer, you shouldn't be more than 26 years. From 18 to 25, 20 years. Then you can go in. And when you come, depending upon your field, they will just put you at the right place. And then you carry on with your training. Then we have short service. The short service commission are like us, the professionals. You are a SOFO, you are a pharmacist, you are a nurse, for you to be enlisted as a osofo no na nkaba sofo we pen nkaba sofo enye any osofo at all enti obeso disofo papa got na ha nkoye chirabosom. Okay, that's good.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay.
My name is Blessing Adoko, and my question goes to the lawyer. Please, is there any defects that will prevent you from becoming a lawyer?
Of course, if you don't pass your exams, you cannot.
It's okay. If you have a question, you wait.
Sir,
is that okay? When they come there.
Physical defects.
Physical.
Yeah.
Physical defects, no. Actually, the law school in Ghana, as in Makola, has even trained visually impaired students before, and they become lawyers. Yes, they use Braille to learn. So physical defects, no. Our job is basically about reading, writing, and talking. Once you have these abilities, you are okay. Doesn't matter whether you are in a wheelchair. Additionally, you can pass all your exams. If you do not have a good character, you will not be called to the bar. So it's so important. Remember, the knowledge you are being given. We are told knowledge is what? can be very powerful. We do not want to put that in the hands of people who are of dubious character. They can become a danger to society. So when you are done with all your exams and you've passed everything, you will be given a document to go out there and get senior lawyers in society to attest, sign and endorse that they know you to be of good character. You've not been convicted of any criminal offense involving dishonesty. Otherwise, you can never be called to the bar, even if you pass all your papers.
Thank you very much. Okay, ask your question.
I'm in the person of Karen Christabel Kosuno in the 2 Science 1 class. And my question is directed towards the nursing sector. Under it, she mentioned some careers of nursing. So my question is, who is a perioperative nurse?
A perioperative nurse. She wants to know who is a perioperative nurse.
Thank you very much. A perioperative nurse is a nurse who goes under training to take care of clients in the theater where there is a case that has to go for surgery. This perioperative nurse, as the word goes, we have peri, intra, and post. You get it? So preoperative, intraoperative, and postoperative. So the nurse studies everything that has to do with how to take care of a patient or client who needs to undergo any form of surgery in the theater. Are you okay? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Momi. Thank you very much. Your question.
I'm Abigail, entry 3 and I want to ask the lawyer, please, aside being a lawyer, can you attach other professions to it, like being a lawyer and at the same time a nurse?
Okay.
Some can easily be combined. I was a lawyer and I was a military officer at the same time. You can be a lawyer and you can be a lecturer. You can be practicing as a lawyer and be lecturing, as in teaching others to also become lawyers. It will depend on what you want to combine with. There are certain other jobs or careers that when you combine, you can only do one at a time. Some, when you combine, you can manage the two. It depends on which one and the demands that particular one will make on you. Some will be so demanding that you have time for the other. It depends on which one.
Thank you very much. Your question.
My name is Hunsunapi Donoko, and my class is 2 Science 1. And my question goes to the engineering sector. So, the engineering, does it only have to do with agriculture?
Ask again.
So, engineering, does it only have to do with architecture?
Architect.
Yes, please. Engineering itself, in fact, when you go to KNUST, we have about 15 different programs when you come to engineering. We have electrical, we have mechanical, civil, many others. Actually, engineering itself is not architecture. Architecture is a whole program on its own. Architecture actually falls directly under construction. Please, where is he? I don't know whether I've answered this question. So architecture itself doesn't fall under engineering. Engineering stands on its own and architecture stands on its own. I hope you understand. Yes, but there are other portions of engineering that fall under construction. For instance, civil engineering falls under construction. Sometimes you have mechanical engineers that work on buildings. So it also falls under construction, electrical as well. Do you understand? So sometimes those things intertwine. Geodetic and other things sometimes fall under construction. So it depends. I hope you understand.
Thank you very much for the answer. We've had other dignitaries joining us, and I would like to acknowledge their presence here. We have Engineer George Kwame Nyame. He is a lawyer, and he has MSc in Procurement Management. And he is the head of Works Department for Jabi Municipal Assembly. And currently, he is the national president for the Local Government Service Engineering Association. Let's appreciate Mr. Engineer George Kwame Nyame. And he was accompanied by Mr. Collins Owusu Ansa. He's also a member of the board of directors for Our Lady of Grace Senior High School. And he is also an engineer at the Kwabri East Municipal Assembly. Let's appreciate him one more time again. You are welcome. Your question.
My name is Miguel Nochemzika. I'm in 101. I have two questions for the arts and culture. The first one is, what are the requirements to become an actor? And the second one is it advisable to have a second career if I'm an actor?
Thank you. I think Miss will do that.
Well, you need to pass your SHS, and then you can go all the way to the highest of education. And then the second one was, yes, I do. A lot of people do. And it's all professional courses that we attach to it. And in our field, we virtually do everything, and we can do everything, including being a lawyer, being an athlete, being a pharmacist, being a nurse, being a doctor, everything. And even if you can't, you can act it out.
Thank you very much, Ms. Edinam Atashi. And we will take a follow-up response from our very own Mr. Opoku, our literature teacher.
Yeah, Auntie, we saw you, Fred Amogi, Grace Norte, and the rest. And your products were excellent. All of a sudden, we saw mediocrity. As a literature teacher, I could sit down and predict the ending of something that was going to happen. What accounted for it, and what are the things to be done so that your standard could be revived?
Okay.
Thank you so much for the recommendation, the recognition. What happened was, with the art, people think anybody can act. Well, you need a talent, but you need a skill too. And you are better when you go to the school. But what happened was, people came 2 days, 3 days, they've gone on set, they've gone on location. They think, oh, this is easy. I can handle the camera. I can direct. I can do this. And people started doing that, and this is where we find ourselves today. And even if you watch, the Kumawood film is virtually dead, because you can't shoot a movie in 3 days, 2 days, 5 days. Who does that? Nobody. So that's what caused the downfall. But we are reviving it. Now people are doing better jobs. People are using better equipment as well. And a lot of people are in school now. So gradually, we're getting back on our feet.
Thank you very much, Ms. Edinam Atashi, for that wonderful response. Your question.
Okay. My name is Tibok Joycelyn, and I'm in 101. So my question goes to the lawyer. I have two questions. The first one is, apart from gaining the bachelor's degree, what are the other things an individual can do to become a lawyer? And the second one is, as a lawyer, are you stable, or there are situations that a person has to go to other places to solve issues? Thank you.
Thank you. I think Mr. James Odate Uduatiana.
The first question, I don't know whether my understanding is that whether she's trying to find out whether there are alternative routes or what exactly. Because for now, previously in the past, you could become a lawyer without necessarily having an LLB, a bachelor's degree in law. But once you have a degree, those days with a degree, not necessarily in law, you could go to the law school, read law, but because the law school was not and is still not a university, it is a professional training institution, they were not awarding degrees. The degrees are awarded by the academic institutions, i.e. in this case the universities. But now that alternative option has been cancelled, sort of scrapped. So currently, if you want to become a lawyer, you can only do so, at least so far as Ghana is concerned, by going to the university and reading law. Then you go to the professional level, i.e. we all call it what? Makola, the Ghana School of Law. Now we have other campuses, Makola, Kumasi, etc., to do the professional training and you become a lawyer. The second question, whether you can be stable or you can be roaming, it depends on where you choose to work. If you are in private legal practice, like myself, you are not stable, if I'm to use your words. You cannot be stable. Your clients determine where you go. Your clients and the cases they have will determine where you find yourself. This very week, I have traveled through 3 different regions. On Wednesday, I was in Cape Coast. Yesterday, Eastern region. Today, where? Ashanti region. Sometimes I go to court in Tamale, sometimes Kumasi, Sekondi, anywhere your clients feel you are good enough to be sent to, that is where you go and look for your daily bread. That's the work we do. On the other hand, if you choose to, for instance, become an in-house lawyer or an in-house counsel, another word for us is what? Counsel. C-O-U-N-S-E-L, not C-I-L. If you choose to become an in-house counsel, i.e., for instance, maybe you get a job with Absa Bank or Zenith Bank, you remain there in the head office. You're always in the office. You go to work Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. I've worked in Vodafone before, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. I realized I wasn't cut for that kind of environment. I'm not the type that can sit still from morning to evening. After 1 month, I left. And I've been enjoying my roaming around since then. I prefer to always be on the move. Mornings, we are in court. Afternoons, in the office to attend to clients. Every now and then, you travel. That is how private practice is like. In the military, we do a lot of training. Also in the office, once in a while, you go on peacekeeping. The peacekeeping sent me to places like Lebanon, Israel, Cote d'Ivoire. It depends on where you choose to work. If you choose to become a judge, it has its own. Today you are in Kumasi, the next day maybe Takrady, another time you are in Sunyani on transfers. It depends on where you choose to work.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mills. Thank you. Okay, now, sake of time, they are all going to ask their questions. And if there is any general question, we will ask one of our resource persons to answer. And when the person is done, the rest, most of the questions are career specific. So when they meet in their various groupings, I believe able resource persons will answer those questions there for you. So you all ask the questions, then we bring the curtains to a close.
Please, my name is Hildo Ferran Fonsa. I'm in theory, science theory. My question is to the lawyer. In your presentation, you told us that science students can also study law in the university. So I wanted to know that in the university, while studying the law, do you still do some science elective subjects? And my second question is, most of the times we hear people saying lawyers do take bribe. So I want to know if it is actually true.
Okay, I think Mr. James will take note of that, and he will answer when you meet him.
Please, I'm Abugri Ruth. I am Poker 3R2 class. My question actually goes to all of them.
It is a general question.
Yes. Most of them spoke about having passion for what you want to do. But in this case, we're in a country where they don't look at what you know, but who you are. If I have passion for something I want to do, but I don't know anyone in that field, what then would I do to get to my passion?
Okay, I think this question, one of them will have to help us and answer. It's a general question. Okay.
This one you have to send to court. You have to send to court.
Okay, so I believe that you do not need to know anybody. If you do, it's a plus, or it could be a plus. I came from the village, a village called Esubani Rios, near Nkoko. Up to age 7, I didn't even know how to read and write. Came to Accra when my father died, started schooling. I joined the military. I knew nobody. I went through the process objectively without having to know anybody.
Mr. Odati, that answers it all. If you have to know anybody, it should be who? Okay, thank you. Your question.
Okay, so my question goes to the minister. Back then, I was told that if you want to join the army, you have to join the cadet or know the background of being in the army. And I want to know if it is true, because maybe you would want to join it after you've finished the senior high school or when you're done with the university. And my second question is that they said if you, I finished university at the age of 27 years and I want to reach a certain higher level, since my age limit, my age didn't reach the age limit which you guys want, they wouldn't give me that rank. Is it true?
Okay. I think when you meet them there, they will answer. You are not in his group. Okay, I think quick one. We will have a quick answer to that.
All right. First of all, what you have to know is that, let me answer the last one. The age limit from 18 to 26 for regular or they say recruitment. For the SS, you could have then maybe SS, you have SS certificates. And if you have a profession, like you can be a driver, right? But you must have some qualification from the MVTI and other things. So these permit you can be a mason or a carpenter. We need all those, but you need some certificate, a form of certificate, so that you must have the SS or get some profession, all right, so that you could be recruited. The recruitment is for SS graduates to diploma or HND, right? Now, if you are in that category, that is where you, from 18 to 26. Now, if you have a university degree, from 18 to 26, I've told you earlier on that we have regular enlistment. You go in, that is your profession. You are going as a soldier. So it's a professional thing you are going in for. So from 18, if by 18 years you are finished with your degree, you can go just enlist. Just know God, right? Don't know anybody. Know God. Or some of us entered, you don't have, but you realize that you go through. You write exams, and it will surprise you. My intake that I went, I topped the examination in Wednesday. Aptitude test, also for top aptitude test. Now, my top on one be free. Are you getting it? So I was just going through and finally they met me at the final interview. And so it is only God. It is no other individual. And for the age, if you are a professional, right, from 30 to 35, you are a nurse, you are an architect, you are whatever. Within that period, you could be taken as short service. Then, if you are a specialist doctor, they give you a grace to about 40. And as a specialist doctor, when you come in, when you are commissioned as a major, who jump up straight. When you are a doctor and you are commissioned a captain. When you are an architect and you are commissioned, captain, lawyers, captain. There are certain professionals that because of the way that so they take you as that. We are fighting for them to take Osofo also because before you finish and become ordained, and I'm telling you, so they should give us captain some. That would have been okay. All right. And the other one, the last one, you don't need to join cadets. It is a plus because when you go, the initial training is you need to have some tough. You have to be a bit tough. We are a hard drinker, but we don't take one more already. They are mature and that sort of thing. Yes, I saw Jani slim person. Near funds, you have passed, and then you pass out. But with the officers, when you go for the regular, it is 18 months, which is close to 2 years, before you come out as a regular. When you are a short service, you go in for 9 months. But even now, there are some times that they try to waive. They have special intake for doctors and nurses. For them, they treat it. But now, for about 4 months or 6 months, they will be okay. And then, because they are trained for special duties. Yes. So, you don't need to be a cadet. But it is a plus because it will help you to know your drills, your how to turn, and then how to go to endurance and that sort of thing. That helps a lot. You should try as much as possible to be a very strong athlete like my brother because you do a lot of running and you don't eat too much. Soldier, our food is special. It will change your body and make you fit and very good.
Thank you very much, very Reverend Dr. Major Noah Buahin.
Please, my name is Agongo Asumno Sowetal. I'm in 1 Science 3. Please, my question goes to the pharmacist. Please, if I'm a specialist in cardiovascular pharmacy and I want to also be a specialist in malaria, please, is it possible?
Okay, are you going to stick to his group? Okay, you ask your questions when you are done. Okay.
Yeah, so the answer is yes, because so I am a cardiovascular pharmacist and also a critical care pharmacist. So I have 2 specialties, and then beyond that, I'm also a fellow of the Ghana College in Clinical Pharmacy, and then also a fellow of the West Africa College. So you can do many things. It's just what where you find yourself, the field you found yourself, and what you want to achieve. You can spread out. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Your question.
Oseikuto Chamausi Erica, and I'm in 1-at-1. I want to ask that if you want to become a lawyer in future, which skills are you going to use to perform your studies activities? Thank you.
Okay, I think when you meet lawyer will explain. Give it to the next person.
Please, I'm in the person of Ajiman Harulon Shwaba World, and I'm a member of 2BV class. Please, my question goes to the dietitian. Earlier on in her presentation, she mentioned some courses to offer to be a dietitian. And I'm asking her if I want to be a caterer or own my own restaurant, which course am I to offer in the university, and how can I do if I never did home econs in SHS?
Okay, I think when you meet her, she will explain to you.
I'm Eternal. Please, I want to ask if your past can affect you from being called to the bar. From being called to the bar. Your past.
It depends on what you have in your past. It depends on what you have in your past. If in your past or your history is such that we can find things that show that you have a bad character, that show that you cannot be trusted, that show that you've been fraudulent, you've been engaged in offenses involving dishonesty. When we say offenses involving dishonesty, we are talking about fraud, stealing, and those things. Then naturally, remember I told you after your training, if you do all the 6 years and you pass everything, you will now need people who will sign and say, yes, we know this person has a good character and so call him. Because of your past, you may not get anybody to sign for you, and you would have wasted all the 6 years for nothing. So please be careful to ensure you lead a very good life.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Please take note, in soldier, if you are enlisted, they will come to your school to do investigation. Your home, because you state your father and mother, they will go there. Your SS, your JSS, they will go there. And so please, those of you who are not doing the right thing, if you are bad in school, so take note. There have been cases where people are enlisted. Say, or your demonstration it was school. There are lots who came into the service or mentimi and commission. Those who were not really were able to go through that. So please,
Okay. Okay. Before Father takes over, I would like to also ask this. I think my question goes to the lawyer. I want to know: is it the government who pays the lawyers, or lawyers are paid by their clients? This question has been bothering me for a very long time. I want to know: is it the government who pays lawyers, or your client pays you?
Very interesting question. When you are in private practice, first of all, the primary point is this: it is he who employs you that pays you. So if you are a government lawyer in quotes, meaning for instance you are with the Attorney General's Department or you are with the Ghana Legal Aid Board, whoever is employing you pays you. When you are in private practice, when I say private practice, I'm talking about those of us lawyers who have set up our own law firms. and we leave the house and come and sit there waiting for the clients to come. Some can't, they don't have what it takes to be in such a job because they mentally, they can't think of the fact that, hey, so if in 1 month no client comes, minimally, you understand what will I? For those of us in private practice, we earn our income from the clients. So when you come, you pay. You pay a consultation fee just to talk to the yes. Oh. You pay a consultation fee. You don't go and talk to your client and just walk away. You pay before you let them walk in and come and sit before him. No lawyer will have a situation where you can just walk straight into his office. You go and see the secretary first. The process, you pay the consultation fee before you come. Then when you come and we talk, and I get to know what your problem is, we agree on the way forward. Then based on what I need to do for you, I charge you what we know we call the legal fee itself. So you pay the consultation fee, you pay the legal fee, and each time I go to court with you, you pay for my fuel. If I have to travel outside Accra, you pay, you get an air ticket. Hey. So it's the client that pays. And anything you file in court, you pay something small to the court. We call it filing fees. All of it will come from you, the client. So litigation is very expensive. Of course, litigation aside, we are not only there when you are in trouble. That's a good part of our work. Even when you make money and you are buying your parcel of land or you are buying a house, you want to build, you are entering into a transaction, you still need your lawyer. And we charge a percentage of the total amount involved. That's how we earn our fees. So you will decide. If you think you can't stand the possibility of going for a month without any legal fee, you can get a job in the bank or the attendant department or any other place. They will pay you fixed monthly salaries every month. Whether it will be enough for you or not, that's up to you. So these are, if you are a judge, the government or the state will pay you. The judges are also paid very well. They'll give you a brand new car, you'll be comfortable. So you will decide in which of these places you want to work.
Thank you very much. And this is also a directed question. The person wants to know that can any person join the military? I don't want to be a soldier, I don't want to be a policeman, but can I just come into the military for the training and after I'm done, I just go my way? Is that possible?
I remember the time I was at Tech. The late President Rawlings wrote some that we have to go through in military training. Some of us wrote our name. Our name came to the newspaper, but I was afraid I couldn't go. And I remember my mate, who is now a colonel, went. And then through that he was enlisted into the army. In fact, you can't just go and say, Uka Kotrini, no waba. Sadly, no Rollins in the bear and you. Those days it was very good. You go through the training, and it's like South Korea and other places. Anytime you finish university, you go through the military training, and you'll be okay. There are other countries that practice that, but Ghana now we don't do that. However, if you have a profession and you want to work with the Ghana Armed Forces, they will take you or maybe recruit you as a civilian employee. So that is for Ministry of Defense. So you could be taken as you may be an engineer, or you may be a doctor. We have a lot of civilian doctors who are in 37. They don't wear they are not in uniform, but we have employed them and they work. We have civilian nurses they are being paid by Ministry of Defense, and so you can come in as a civilian, all right. But for the training, you can't. If they enlist you, you have to go through and come and wear the uniform, or you can wear after wearing the uniform for 1, 2, 3, 4 years. You can put in reservation. Me and I can say 4 years. Then who say what training have you? So go with your experience. But we can't train you and then leave you like that unless Nana Akufo-Addo decides say okay, obi vie SSR onko ye military training kakra. Enke be boy enke ye jan kwase asem ya ye.
Okay. So somebody just asked a question about your background, if it has effect. I think that anything that you want to do in life, your background matters. Even if you want to become a priest, before you are ordained, we send out certain things, we call it bands, to the churches and places that you have stayed, asking them if you should be ordained a priest. So it is very, very important. Your life, it matters a lot. Especially those of you who have taken social media as food. You post anything there. Be very careful. These days, even if you are looking for visa, they go in there to check all your social media handles. They just Google. And they find everything there. So don't think that you have posted something 2 years ago and it is gone. No, it's not gone. They have a way of bringing all of these things back. And a lot of people are denied of positions and visas and other things because of these things. So my dear friends, don't take things for granted. Your past matters. So what you are doing here today, tomorrow you will face it somewhere. If it is good, you will benefit from that. If it's not good, you will reap it yourself and then you cry. And then that's why when you are crying, you cry in your house. Don't bring it to us because we have told you. Amen. Thank you. When we were doing the groupings yesterday, I left out military because I wanted to be sure of something. So all those who want to go into the military or have interest in the military, right after this session, just meet me there. Even if you have registered for any of the groups, just meet me out there, and then I'll talk to you. Okay, thank you. MCs.
Okay. We are getting to the end of the first section, and this is the locations of the groupings. So listen to it attentively and know where you'll be going per the section or the group you chose. So those going for agriculture will be at the two science 3. Those who picked agriculture, please, you'll be meeting your resource person in 2 science 3. Art and culture, you'll be at the lawns. And law, those who will be meeting the lawyer, you have yours at the conference room up there. And medicine too, you will be going to the innovation center, the left room. You'll be going to the innovation center, the left room. And those who chose nursing and midwifery, you'll be meeting at the biology lab. And the engineers, yes, those who picked engineering, you also meet here. The engineering group will be here. And business and administration, you also meet at the innovation center in the right room. Yes, the right room. And for vocations, that is the priest, the priest will also meet the group members in the lawns. There are the sisters, the brothers, the fathers, and the rest. Pastors, you also be at the lawns. And the dietitian will also meet her group in 2 Science 2. Those who be looking at nutrition and dietetics. You also meet at the 2 Science 2. And the pharmacist will also meet his group in the physics lab. The pharmacist and his group will meet in the physics lab. So please, let's take note. On that note, I've been informed that the resource persons at the end of their interactions should give us 5 best students in their group, students who participated massively, did very well during the interactive sections. We should have 5 students from each of our resource persons. Thank you. On that note, by 2:30, we will be done with our lunch. Then we move into our various groupings. Then by 3:30, we will be done with the interactive section. Then we meet here, we climax everything, then we refresh ourselves again. So I think, Father, is there anything we have to? Okay. On that note, please, let's all be on our feet as we bring the curtains down for the first section. We move straight to the dining hall to take our lunch.